On today's episode of Idiot's Guide.
Can you do that thing where you shove that stuff up your ass again?
He's like talking to her, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, how bad? Like, you're a director. Don't you know that you suck?
Yeah, you should tweet him a picture of me, you, and Nick and say, who has the biggest balls? Well, earlier, I texted Jerome, and I go, hey, we still doing the podcast since it's Nick's birthday today? He goes, yeah, I think so.
Oh, that's true. I did say that, yeah.
It's not my fucking birthday.
I can't sing it to this song. Sorry, hold on. This is awful. Hold on. You can't sing Happy Birthday.
Bitch, I was grooving, and you...
Sorry. Okay, that's
To you.
Happy
Happy
birthday, dear Nick.
Dear motherfucking Nick. Happy birthday to you.
Does that mean this is coming out on Tuesday?
Before you get into Idiot's Guide, I was listening to This Is Important, the Workaholics Guys podcast, and they were talking about...
Wait, are you telling us this is important?
No, that's the name of their podcast.
Oh, okay.
But they were talking about they were going to measure their penises and all this shit, like put them on like the thing to weigh food and see whose penis weighs the most, but you can't get hard, and they said no nuts and all this stuff, and they're like, yeah, you, Kyle, because we know, looking at you could tell you're all nuts. You got big balls, and they're just talking about how you can just look at someone and you can tell they got big balls, but they talked about how you could look at someone, and I was like, I wonder if they looked at Hess. They
You
knew
should,
he had big balls.
Yeah, you should tweet him a picture of me, you, and Nick and say, who has the biggest balls?
What do our balls look like? Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. Well, we could put a poll up. That's our next poll. Who's got the biggest balls?
I mean, if anyone listens to this, they know it's Hess. If anyone's ever heard of the ball
but whoever
Johnson,
wins has to prove it.
you know what? Now that I have a computer, I'm going to fucking try and
Start
find
Googling
him
shit.
doing the ball Johnson. We'll put that to TikTok.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, see, Nick can make some horrible shit.
Ever played In the Cat?
Wes Craven's New Nightmare.
Is that a reference to shaving pussy? I mean, I'm just asking.
Yeah, could you imagine if it was like a porn parody and they played that? Like,
Skin the cat.
ever played Skin the Cat?
This Freddy was pretty, like, don't get me wrong, none of this shit's scary, but, like, he's the scariest Freddy so far.
Yeah, no, this one, I like this. This one, they both, here, I'll do an intro, then we'll get into that stuff. But
Okay.
they both kind of serve their purposes, but I like this one for the horror Freddy. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Idiot's Guide to Slashers. I'm Jerome, your rebooted man with the claws. Swing.
You always say something so weird that I'm just like, I'm Nick.
And I'm Hess. And hey, I want everybody to go in the comments, wish Nick a happy birthday. I know this will be out before or after his birthday is over, but still wish the old bald man
When's this
happy birthday.
fucking shit coming out?
Is your birthday today? Right? It is
No,
today, right?
it's not today.
No, not today. Not
Fucking Jerome told me it
today.
was today.
He doesn't know when my birthday is.
Well, the funny thing is I was talking to Nick yesterday,
Oh,
and
yeah.
you went to the dispensary,
Mm-hmm.
and he was like, "Yeah." He goes,
I was a little wrong, too. I didn't know. She didn't pick it up at Circle K. It actually just came to the house.
Oh,
Yeah.
but he was like, "Yeah." He goes, "I guess they got me something for my birthday." He's like, "I told him I didn't want anything because I just want to buy an Xbox whenever I can find them."
He's like, I don't want
He's like-
anything because
Frightened retard?
Well, no, I just want to be able to spend $500 on an Xbox when I see one.
mm-hmm. Oh, so
Yeah.
you want us to take that
I'm
back?
still going to do it, by
You
the
want
way.
us to take that back now?
No, I'll keep it.
No, you'll keep it?
Sure. Well,
Yeah.
I didn't expect
So then
it.
I told him, I go, "I actually know what your birthday present is."
Yeah, I told him probably that day. I don't remember when it was.
Well, I figured it wasn't an Xbox for two reasons. One, I knew how much he spent.
And we couldn't find it.
And two,
She
Hess
couldn't
is
find
like,
it.
go to Target and Anthem. And I'm like, well, he wouldn't tell me to do that if he knows what it is.
Oh, that's true.
Unless he's a total
Yeah.
dick. He just wants me to buy their own one.
No, that'd be really. He's telling you to buy one, so it's just. Oh, he tries to trick you into getting two, so I get one. That's a good idea. You should have done that.
Looking out for you, Jerome. You know.
But all right, so back to Idiot's Guide. Does anybody have any Nick questions? I actually found one while I was getting sentenced.
Oh,
You know, I was a little disappointed at the end because I didn't have any Nick questions.
Mm-hmm.
This movie,
it's a movie inside of a movie.
it wasn't bad, but I didn't like it that much.
Oh, you don't. I told Hess I didn't like it as much as because I used to love this one growing up.
Maybe you hyped it up a
But
bit much.
I do like this one a lot.
Right.
I think it's kind of fun. I was telling him before when we were playing Call of Duty that like like when they start doing the things from the movies again, and it starts becoming like the first movie kind of, and it's all transforming the real world. Growing up, that really captured my imagination. That doing that was really cool.
That was kind of cool.
But then watching it again, I was like, oh, you could have done some of that a little better and a little more, made it more fun. And I guess too, Johnny Depp. Wes Craven was gonna ask him to cameo in this as well because they got a lot of the other people just to cameo. He's supposed to be in the funeral scene, but he didn't. He couldn't build up the courage to ask him.
Oh, for fuck's
And then
sake.
years later, they talked, and Johnny Depp was like, "Well, fuck yeah, I showed up for fucking Freddy's dead. What the fuck?"
Yeah.
But so I think there was some stuff like that. Like if you would have got maybe another Johnny Depp, or if you would have got something, it could have been more fun.
Yeah.
But overall, I think this one's pretty neat.
I think because it was about Nancy's character, I think that's what I didn't like about it. Because she
That's what I always loved about it too.
I just don't like her that much, I guess.
Wow.
I mean, I don't dislike her. I just don't want to watch her for 2 hours.
You'd rather watch Halloween 3, apparently.
I know this was a long one.
Yeah, it was a long one for
Yeah, this is the
I-
longest
I
one we
have-
watched, I think. Fuck.
I have two things. One's not really a question. Well, I guess one's a question. One's a Nick question. The question is, would both of you guys have killed your son if you had a son like this kid? Because
Killed?
I probably would have.
You'd have murdered him?
I would have.
Yeah, I would have just killed him.
What the fuck is wrong with you two? You were just gonna murder the kid because he's being tormented by Freddy. And if you're in this movie, that means you guys are probably the Heather, and you probably know he's being tormented by Freddy, which makes it even worse that you just want to kill him.
I didn't like how they took the shit from Poltergeist where she started getting gray hair. It's like, really?
They didn't take it from Poltergeist. They took that from the first movie that happened to her in.
Which they took from Poltergeist.
You can't prove that.
I can.
You can't.
I did have one Nick question.
Uh-huh.
Was Freddy wearing leather pants?
I don't know, but I know at one point when he's in the little furnace at the end, you can see his skin all fudged up, like folded in on itself, his mask.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you see for like 10 seconds it's on the screen, and he's like, oh, doing something because he's scared of the fire, and you just see it like bunched up on his head. You think they'd be able to be like, hey, let's just do a retake of that?
I did think to myself at the end, okay, we get it, Hansel and Gretel.
Sleeping pills. Say how they find their way back home. It's important.
Breadcrumbs. That was the one thing growing up, I liked the little go back past the freeway and he left the like the making you remember things in the movie. But this time I was like, fuck, it's long enough. Let me watch something else.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I know.
But my next question is why did she take every single one of his sleeping pills? He left her a trail. It's probably like, hey, Mom, here's an idea. You can take one of these pills, fall asleep. Me and you will fight Freddy. And then she fucking takes every single one of the pills, probably going to kill herself. And then Freddy's just going to laugh and be like, oh, I beat you.
Yeah.
Like, what? She took like 27 sleeping pills.
Apparently, she wanted to make sure she fell asleep.
Yeah.
I didn't even
What's
notice
overdose?
that.
I would have left you a little
That's
cup of
overdose.
NyQuil. And you'd have been like,
Overdose on the Ambien.
nah.
2 shots would do it.
You know, I get panic attacks if I get sick and like have people like just take some NyQuil, and I'm like, I don't want to do it. I feel like I'm not going to wake up. I feel like I'm not going to get sick.
We should do a podcast. You take some
Turns into Chris Farley when
we-
you just sleep for the beard and shit.
We should go to
Yeah.
his house, and one of the things we'll film is we'll do a podcast. Like, it'll be the last thing, I guess, since he's doing NyQuil.
Fucking do shots of NyQuil.
And he does NyQuil, and we'll fucking see how long, like, if he starts getting paranoid on the podcast, he's like, guys, you think people are watching us? We're just like, see what
Not
happens.
this podcast.
No.
And then,
Sopranos,
and then
though.
if he falls asleep,
Sopranos,
we just jerk him off.
Wow.
Why do you
You don't
always
think so?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I guess I do have another Nick question. So when Freddy is like trying to reach the little boy,
Mm-hmm.
Chase Gavin, what's his name? Chase is the dad. I know that. I can't remember the little boy's name.
It's you know what? You completely wrecked it.
It's Dylan,
Okay.
and when
Dylan.
I get to the trivia, that's gonna make it even worse that he said the name wrong, because I have a special
Yeah.
trivia about the name in here.
All right.
Okay, well, he's like the Dylan is in like the little inferno room, and like there's a huge fire, and he's like standing 2 feet away from it, and he apparently feels no heat
Yeah, he's
from the fire.
It also confused when Freddy. Are you talking about Freddy's hand or the kid not getting
The kid, the
The
kid's
kid.
like right in front of the fire.
Well, the kid too, and also it confused me when the kid can just break. Like there's like a wall there with the snake, and he just pushes the stick and the snake out and gets out. But I swear, before the mom yells to get out of there, that room was completely sealed with these like bars behind that he would not be able to get through. But in that scene too, Freddy stretches out his hand to him, like through the fire,
and then opens his mouth like a fucking horse.
I love that part. He's like,
So when he reached into his arm,
I fucking love that.
How long is his arm? 8 feet?
About as long as my cock, yeah.
So if you can stretch your arm 8 feet, you can't stretch it 8 feet and 6 inches?
Imagine how long he can stretch his penis.
Well, see, that
goes on so long.
That's a long cut. Jesus.
That's what he said.
As far as he stretches his arm, that's about Mikael Bridges' wingspan right there.
We've lost a lot of money on him.
Oh, really?
Kinda.
Would you guys like to know some trivia on Wes Craven's A New Nightmare?
I actually do, Jerome.
Okay.
I really do.
Well,
yes, please.
In this film, Freddy is depicted much closer to what Wes Craven had originally intended for the character. Much more menacing, much less comical, and with an updated attire and appearance. Yeah, I like that he's got a green hat now.
Is that why you didn't put that up?
No, it's just because I forgot. But yeah, this is the first Idiots Guide that I didn't put that up. That's kind of disappointing.
I noticed it about 5 minutes ago. So it was a different color? No. I'm asking. Don't be a dick.
You're talking about his hat? The green hat he was wearing is different than the brown one he normally wears?
No,
is that what you're asking?
His sweater.
His sweater was the same. Just the hat, and then his trench coat was brown, I think, and his hat was green.
I thought that the sweater had more green in it. But
it is. It's like a darker, but it's like the same thing. It's just darker and slightly different, but it's the same. It's still red and green striped.
Okay, because I'm still colorblind.
Yeah, I know. Fucking Jesus. I hear about it every day.
No, you don't.
I can't fucking touch my penis in the bathroom because I'm colorblind. I'm Nick. The film has no opening titles to blur illusions.
I thought that was weird, yeah.
It's to blur illusions, whether this is a film, a documentary, or something else altogether.
I did not get that from that. But
so you guys, when you saw that opening, were you like, well, I don't know. What is this, a movie? Is this a documentary? Is this something else altogether?
I just thought they were sick and tired of wasting our time with the...
They're like, we have 2 hours for you to fucking watch this shit. Just watch it.
Jerome loves this movie, and there's a fucking hand running around killing people.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun as dicks. The working title for this film was Nightmare on Elm Street 7, The Ascension.
I'm glad they went with something else.
Well, that's a good-ass name, huh?
No, I like Wes Craven's New Nightmare better.
Yeah, I like that better.
And I'm not that fond of it, to be honest.
Oh, I liked it. I always kind of liked it, but it also made it... What's funny is I never thought about Freddy's Dead. That doesn't say Nightmare on Elm Street. But I was always disappointed that the last one wasn't a Nightmare on Elm Street. And then years later, I realized the last 2 aren't.
That's one of those movies that fucks up your alphabetization when you...
Yeah, I remember that whenever we'd have to tell people, we'd be like, yeah, it's alphabetical order, except for like these movies that like that one's not because it's in a series or that one. But because it makes a whole picture too in the pack.
Yeah, well, it was alphabetical order to me.
Yeah. It's Nicobetical order.
There you go.
Wes Craven was originally supposed to be on the run from Freddy by running around, driven by Michael Berryman, who is the creepy guy from The Hills Have Eyes. He's in like all the old Wes Craven horror movies. You knew exactly who he was a while ago when I said that.
Probably if I saw him.
He's like the creepy, weird guy. It looks like he's an incest baby, kind of. He almost looks like the Freddy baby, but in real life.
Yeah, okay.
I feel I'm really harsh on the guy now. But he looks disgusting. But that guy...
He looks like you have a button to push. He looks like
I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. He kind of looks like a...
Frightened retard?
Hey, you guys.
But they were both going to be driving around. He was going to be the driver, that dude from Hills of Ice. They were supposed to be sleep deprived. Craven would have cut out his eyelids while he was writing the script for the movie, and he would have been really struggling to stay awake. Was originally, and then they scrapped that. Also, there was
I think that was a good idea. Do you know why?
That'd be cool. Him fucking being like, whoosh, whoosh, I gotta stay awake and write this movie.
All right, well, there's 2 reasons. Well, no, there's 1 reason, but I think he should get the Jamie Lee Curtis Award because he's later in Scream. Or not Scream, Jay and Silent Bob.
He doesn't he have a cameo in one of the Screams as well?
Yeah, I think he's the janitor.
Yeah, he's the janitor, Freddy.
But horrible actor.
Yeah, he's not the best. I mean, he's a better writer than
he's like talking to her, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, how bad? Like, you're a director, don't you know that you suck?
Apparently not.
He's like, I don't know,
There's that so far. It's about this entity, whatever you want to call it. It's old. It's very old. It's existed in different forms in different times. About the only thing about it that stays the same is what it lives for, really.
What is that?
Oh, the murder of innocence.
I missed it in the trivia last night. Well, because I was looking at it last night, but I couldn't find it today. But I saw before he made this movie, he sat down and watched every single Nightmare on Elm Street. And by the end, he was like, yeah, I don't know what the fuck the story is. Because he was just going to see where he was going with it. And he said, all those suck, and his original one is still a masterpiece. And I was like, well, to be fair, my favorites aren't the ones that except for A New Nightmare. Like, the first one's not my favorite at all. Not even close.
I think my favorite, if I had to pick one, it would be the last one.
Was Freddy's Dead? Yeah. I love the Freddy's Dead and 3 are my favorites.
It still sucked, but at least Freddy was cool. But Freddy was cool in this one too.
Yeah, just because he was like a creep. He kind of was like this one. You're like, I get it. He's chasing this boy. How he looks, he's a pedophile. Now it makes sense.
Oh yeah, he's fucking kids for sure.
Yeah. Fucking kids with Nick and Josh coming at you live from Trump's bedroom.
Jesus Christ! Hey, real quick, I do have a Nick question.
Did you forget my name? What the fuck?
He's like, I do have a. It's not Jerome. It's not Hess.
I have a Gavin question.
Yes.
A Gavin question.
Is that how it really happened? Is that how they brought him back? Was that ever like a lot of fans wanted him to come back? They wanted more Freddy, or was that just for the movie?
I assume it's a bit of both, because also like the stalker thing was from Heather had a real stalker in real life that was doing that to her, calling her and saying shit like that all the time to her.
Did they call the police every time the guy called?
No. You know what I realized too? Because me and you made fun of when they said the numbers on the fridge still. I'm pretty sure that's just the number of the stalker. No. At least that's the only way it can make it make sense to me.
How would the number of the... Why would you call it stalker back?
No, it's...
Hey, you didn't call me today, asshole!
No, so the police have the number of the stalker.
There's no caller ID, was there?
I don't know.
No, it was 1994.
I don't know.
They barely had cell phones.
I don't know.
You had to be
Ask
wealthy
Alexa when caller ID started.
Hey, Alexa, when did caller ID start?
Here's something I found on reference.com.
Okay.
Colorado became a state on August 1976 as the 38th state.
Alexa! When did caller ID become a thing? Not Colorado. Caller ID.
Here's something I found on
This is fucking Colorado.
According to sunnyvale.com, the company introduced caller ID in all of its operating areas in 2002 and is introducing internet access.
8 years before shit.
Yeah.
Alexa, stop.
Tell her to shut the fuck up.
Hey, but when was Colorado State?
I don't even know. Lastly, for the trivia, the name Dylan is clearly spoken a whopping 103 times in this movie.
The camera's doing bad things.
Yep, it's done recording because it's full, apparently.
Well, earlier, I texted Jerome and I go, hey, we still doing the podcast since it's Nick's birthday today? He goes, yeah, I think so.
Oh, that's true. I did say that, yeah.
It's not my fucking birthday.
Yeah, but it will be.
It'll be your birthday eventually. It's his birthday in January.
But so back to the
5th.
Go ahead.
Is yours the 5th of January?
Yes.
Yours is the 26th of June?
Yes.
I rest my case.
Okay, you can just go suck a fuck. But so the name Dylan was spoken 103 times in the movie.
103.
Clearly it says 2, which I feel really funny because that's called him Gavin.
That's true. How many times is Gavin spoken?
Gavin wasn't spoken once, I don't believe, actually.
Normally, I'm pretty good with remembering it.
What was his last name?
McGee.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, you got that right, actually. But all right, now, my ladies and gentle dudes, it's the time you guys have all been waiting for. The story of Wes Craven's A New Nightmare.
I was wondering what we were waiting for.
Waiting for you to tickle my balls. Heather Langenkamp lives in Los Angeles, California with her husband, Chase. And their
What's his last name?
Langenkamp, I would assume, probably.
Oh, so he took her last name.
He took her last name. Yeah, they all did.
Okay.
Yeah, he's kind of a bitch. She's recognized for her role of Nancy Thompson from the Nightmare on Elm Street film series before focusing her career on television.
Was she a television actress?
I don't know. I've never seen her in anything but these in a documentary. One night...
I looked her up because she looked familiar, and I could have swore...
He's like, I think I used to date
something
her.
About
I think
she made like naughty films, filthy films.
No, she didn't
do porn.
Heather, Alexa, did Heather Langenkamp do porn?
No. The music release is sung by Bond.
She yelled at you.
No, you dumb fuck.
Go to her Wikipedia.
Oh, wait. So the first thing that pops up, I want to point this out.
Does not do porn.
My Little Pony, A New Generation.
Oh.
Oh, and then Debbie Does Dallas.
What? I'm going through her IMDb. I'm going to read off all her movies.
Well,
Hellraiser Judgment. How come we're not doing all the Hellraisers? That's got to be a hoot.
It could be a hoot. She is in a lot of TV. She's in The Bay, the TV series. Vault.
She's in 4 fucking episodes. American Horror Story.
She's in American Horror Story? I don't remember that at all.
Maybe that's where I recognized her from, because I watched a couple episodes with that because she loves that show. So
she's only in 2 episodes, so you got really lucky.
I recognize her from that.
Well, she played Nancy Kerrigan in the Tanya and Nancy Inside Story.
Let's do Idiot's Guide to fucking Nancy Kerrigan.
No, we're not doing an Idiot's Guide to Nancy Kerrigan.
She kind of looks like Nancy Kerrigan now that I think about it. That's a good cast right there.
And it only says she has recurring work on TV shows and films to this day. It says nothing about her doing dirty, rotten porno.
She was in Growing Pains for 5 episodes. She was in Just the 10 of Us for 47 episodes.
Just the 10 of us. Can I read this, or do we want to... Now we're going to check if Robert Englund did porn.
Idiot's Guide to Heather Langenkamp.
Let's do Idiot's Guide to... Did this person do porn?
You could.
I mean, we just keep going until we find someone that did porn.
Let's start with Sylvester Stallone.
Okay, then we're just done. Back to this. One night, she has a nightmare that her family is attacked by a set of animated Freddy Krueger claws from an upcoming nightmare film, where 2 workers are brutally killed on set. Waking up to an earthquake, she spies a cut from Chase's finger, exactly like the one he had received in her dream. But she quickly dismisses the notice that it was caused from those claws. I like how she spies it out. Like she pulled out fucking detective thing and she's like, Chase, it looks like you got a cut right there where I got one in my dream.
I didn't like all the earthquakes. That was kind of weird.
What?
I don't know.
You didn't like anything in this movie. What did you like? You don't like Heather Langenkamp? You don't fucking like earthquakes?
I said I like Freddy.
Oh, okay. I guess that works. Heather receives a call from an obsessed fan who quotes Freddy Krueger's nursery rhyme to her, and it's just Hess.
1, 2,
Hess is coming on you. She's like, fuck off.
Hello.
Do you guys like orange juice?
But this coincides with a meeting she has with New Line Cinema, where she has pitched an idea to reprise her role as Nancy.
That's a coincidence.
Yeah, in a new nightmare film, which unbeknownst to her, Chase has been working on. Which that is a little weird that they like sneakily got her husband out there to go work on a claw and all this shit.
Yeah,
and also
she's gonna be the star.
I'm jumping ahead too, but Wes Craven also let this happen and let all this other shit happen, knowing that this evil Freddy Krueger's just gonna eventually want to kill Nancy.
This nightmare in progress, then, does this thing have any weaknesses?
Oh, well, it can be captured sometimes.
Captured? How?
And by storytellers, of all things.
Yeah, but he knew she'd win.
Oh, because he wrote it.
And lose her husband, apparently.
Yeah. Don't you wish you had the ability to just write a script and then it starts happening? Like, imagine Hess is doing that. He's like, Jerome started fingering his butthole. And then Nick walked into the room and saw it. And then he shoved a tripod up there. And he's just writing a whole script of stuff being shoved up my ass.
Why do you think I'm a, sexual deviant?
No, it's just you writing about me and Nick. Because you know
it's sexual deviants?
Because he knows it's really going to happen. So he's like, I want Nick to shove a fucking tripod in Jerome's ass.
I'll do that.
But so she returns home and sees Dylan watching her original film and not the one that Hess was talking about.
Mommy, what are you doing to that guy's penis? It keeps disappearing in your mouth.
What's her name? Heather Langenkamp?
Heather Langenkamp, yeah.
Did he remind you of Damien at all? Or does every little boy?
I think every little boy just acts like that. The frequent calls and Dylan's strange behavior causes her to call Chase. He agrees to rush home from his workplace at Palm Springs, as the 2 men from the opening did not report for work because they were brutally murdered. You can't get to work if you're dead.
Yeah, I'm leaving. I'm going to be home in 3 hours. It's like, Jesus Christ.
Chase falls asleep while driving and is slashed by Freddy's claw and dies. That was a pretty good death. I like that one in this.
Yeah.
I like Freddy. It kind of just defies physics in his dream world and all that shit. It's a little creepier.
Yeah. At first, I was like, "Fuck, no one really dies in this movie," but
yeah, not many people did.
Yeah. What was it, 4 or 5, right?
Yeah, but some of we didn't really get to see because we saw them in the dream too.
Yeah.
Where was
I just assumed the same thing happened to them.
Oh, yeah. So his death seems to affect Dylan even further, which concerns Heather's longtime friend and former co-star, John Saxon. He suggests that she seeks medical attention for Dylan.
Straight out of Halloween 3.
Straight out of Compton. And finds herself that she was in a nightmare. Wait. She needs medical attention for Dylan and herself after she has a nightmare at Trace's funeral in which Freddy tries to take Dylan away. Now, that's one of my favorite scenes is that night when she does that and he's taking her down in the his casket or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And just that whole thing, and then he's like, stay with me. And she's trying to get, because that's your first kind of, you see Freddy for the first time all creepy like that, too.
He is always going for kids, isn't he?
I mean, he loves them. He just, you know why?
He loves the kids.
Maybe they should have made a movie called Freddy's a Chomo.
Tom Segura, get on it, baby. That's his next YMH Live. Is just Freddy Krueger, and it's an origin story on him.
Could you imagine if he had Robert Englund on? He's like, we watched all your movies. We've decided you're a fucking chomo.
When they said Robert's name, did you think of Hess?
You told me that. I listened to every Robert in the movie. No one says it like Hess.
Oh,
he goes, Robert. No one says it like that. But whenever he gets his phone, he goes, Robert.
Well, she said something. It was one of the times where she was like wondering, like he wasn't paying attention to her or something, and she said it like a question. Something, I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that reminds me. I was going to get in that. Thanks for bringing that up. You know, he's doing that painting in there, and it's that Freddy thing. There was supposed to be a huge dream where he sees the souls coming out of Freddy and all that stuff, but then also Freddy turns into a big spider and fucking chases him and shit. Mm-hmm. And they said it didn't fit the vibe in the movie doing that, with Freddy being in spider and all this shit. It just didn't fit really with it. Probably would have also made it another fucking hour long.
Yeah.
So they cut this. So that's why Robert Englund kind of disappears after that, is because he was supposed to have a whole much more thing in the movie of Freddy actually attacking Freddy. And they cut that out. But wouldn't you think that'd be the more interesting thing to do?
Yes.
Is if mainly
anything
Freddy went after Robert Englund to become him, and then they went to attack Heather. I feel like I feel like that's a better movie right there. Is the demon becoming the real Robert Englund and shit, and then making him get burned and like look like that.
And on top of it, they know the password that has his fucking security.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Robert.
It's like a frog.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. So Dylan's health continues to deteriorate. He becomes increasingly paranoid. Oh, he must have been taking some cough syrup, I guess.
He's fucking swinging that NyQuil.
He's about to go to sleep and fears Freddy Krueger, even though Heather has never shown Dylan her films. Even though I just read that she walked in on seeing it, so that part is irrelevant.
And the TV's unplugged, everything.
Yeah, I hate when my TV's unplugged and it just keeps fucking playing Nightmare on Elm Street. That happens all the time.
I would fucking blow my TV away.
You blow your TV? Like, thanks for showing me Freddy.
Away.
So she visits Nightmare creator Wes Craven in the fucking acting scene of the century.
Oh, yeah.
Who admits to having precognitive nightmares that the films captured an ancient supernatural entity. The entity is freed after the film series ended with the release of Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare. Remember that movie? And they go, Freddy's dead.
No, when did we watch that?
2 weeks ago. In the guise of Freddy, it now focuses on Heather, as killing her will allow it into the real world. The Freddy actor Robert Englund also has a strange knowledge of it, describing the new Freddy to Heather and then disappearing from all contact shortly after.
You know, when he explained how Freddy got his power and all that other shit.
How Freddy got his groove back?
Yeah. He went down to Jamaica, banged some young dude.
And then he left his wallet in El Segundo.
Yep.
And he's like, I got to get it. I got to get it.
Oh, my God. Did you smoke crack before this?
Nah, I smoke MCs.
I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, I know. The big old story about all this shit, you know.
Mm-hmm.
At first, I rolled my eyes like, okay, I need another fucking reason why.
Did you know I can't roll my eyes?
What?
I can't do that.
It's because they're so small?
Okay, move on.
Oh.
Fucking dick.
I don't know. And then it reminded me of last week's movie.
This reminded you of Jason Goes to Hell?
That part did. Because all of a sudden, there's this fucking knife that can kill Jason.
But now Nancy can.
Yeah, now all you gotta do is turn him into Hansel and Gretel.
This made so much more sense than Jason Goes to Hell. The knife thing was weird.
It made more sense.
Oh, the first movies when you guys first captured him, it makes sense he has to redo that.
It made more sense.
In as much sense as it can make.
It's a better story.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also similar.
Same studio.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Following another earthquake, Heather takes a traumatized Dylan to the hospital where Dr. Hefner, fucking Hugh Hefner's there, and he's like, hey, Dylan, all you need is some pussy.
Jesus. Is that how Hugh Hefner
Come get one of my bunnies.
Is that your Hugh Hefner
That's how he talks. That's how I hear him.
That's pretty bad.
He's like, hey, spider friend, do you want some pussy?
That's Stanley, not Hugh Hefner.
I know, but when I was little, I thought they were the same person.
And by little, he means last week.
Yesterday.
I was going to say, I was 18 and I thought Hugh Hefner.
But Dr. Hugh Hefner, Mr. Give Me That Pussy, is suspecting abuse and that's actually a girl, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Suggests that he remains under observation.
She's a black girl, a black nurse.
She's a black girl. Heather returns home for Dylan's stuff. For this guy.
Frightened retard?
What?
Jesus.
Sorry, it's Rex, so I thought it was R. It's 7. Goes home.
That was Rex?
Goes home for Rex. Well,
what?
What?
What was Rex doing at home?
He saves him
He didn't
from
save
Freddy. He sits at the end of his bed. You know how many times we put stuffed animals at the end of our bed after this movie?
How many?
A lot.
Really?
An embarrassing amount of time, actually. We all used to do it. Me, Taylor, and Mason.
Did it help?
I mean, clearly, I didn't get killed in my nightmares.
Beverly, clearly?
Did you used to have nightmares?
I actually haven't had as much nightmares as I would like. I wish I had more nightmares.
Fuck?
Well, I mean,
because Taylor used to have like reoccurring nightmares where Scream would literally stab her in the back, and she'd wake up with a sharp pain in her back.
Maybe she should do the podcast.
You know, the only nightmare I have that I can remember is I was little tiny, and you know that DVD
you were like a fucking M&M in your mom's stomach?
No, you know that you push the glass and it pops open, and then you can get to the DVD player and all that we used to have.
Mm-hmm.
So you push the glass. I was little tiny. Mom put me inside there like I was Ant-Man and handcuffed me to the DVD player and then locked the case, and I was stuck inside there. That's the only nightmare.
Your mother did that to you?
Yeah, fucking bitch.
Do you ever think maybe Taylor's just been lying to make you jealous?
Oh, she hasn't really had nightmares?
Yeah.
She's making them. Fucking bitch is making them up.
Have you ever had a recurring nightmare?
I've never had. I've been so bummed. I've never had a recurring dream in my life.
When I was little, I used to have a
Get so hungry you throw fits.
Are you supposed to be mommy? You ain't no tits. He's singing Eminem.
Oh.
No, I get eaten by a shark.
Right, because you watched that movie. He's on his show.
Yeah, when I was like 2, so fuck them.
Yeah.
But
fuck him and fuck you too.
What never made sense in my dream, I was in knee-high water, and it was Jaws eating me.
Can I admit something?
What?
I don't know how long ago. It wasn't recent, but I'd say within like the last 10 years.
I've said
I
that?
watched Jaws once at Mima's house with Taylor, and then we went swimming the next day, and she went inside to go pee, and I got a little scared in the pool. I got a little bit afraid that the shark was going to get me in that pool, and I was like, I go into water and I look around.
You don't even go in the ocean.
But
he was in a goddamn pool.
I kept getting in my head because I'd be like, just imagine how fucked I'd be if I'm just swimming and all of a sudden there's a shark face to face with me in the pool. I'm not getting away from that.
Well, okay, so we're just talking now, apparently. I was in San Diego. Hash, you'll like this. I was swimming in the bay. Right? You do that, right?
He swims in the bay all day.
So I'm swimming in the bay.
And then you see a shark.
Well, I was far enough out that it's over my head, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then a little seal pops his head up, like... And I was like, oh, that's the fucking cutest thing I've ever seen.
Oh, and you saw a shark go...
No, so then I was gonna pet him.
That doesn't seem like a good idea.
So I kept swimming to him, and he just stayed there. And, like, I got about a foot from him in my memory. Maybe it wasn't that close. And Mom and my mom were like, oh, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, well, if he's right here, what the fuck else is out here? And I fucking turned around and swam as fast as I could to the fucking shore. And then, think about it. I mean, if he wanted to do something to me, he's bashed me.
Oh, I wish he would have chased you and then someone could have, like, taken a picture or something. That would have been awesome.
But, I mean, I was at least 2 feet or a foot from it, and then I just got scared shitless. And
so, I mean, you probably could have stuck your arm out. Give him a little pet.
Yeah, I probably could have, but I got scared.
Do you think
shitless.
you could have, like, mounted him and...
I don't think he would have liked that.
And, like, rode him back out to sea?
What am I,
like, hey, Mom, look at this!
It was like so cool. I'm because he just looked like a dog. Like he wanted to be, you know what I mean? He just
give him a little treat.
And I was like, oh, that's fucking cute. And I was like, wait a second. Fuck this. And I just got the hell out of there.
That's funny. All right, so Heather returns home for the stuffed animal Rex. While his babysitter Julie tries unsuccessfully to keep the nurses from sedating the sleep deprived
Wow.
The sleep-deprived boy Dylan.
That's a sleep deprived.
That part.
That's a hard word to say.
That part, the sleep-deprived boy. They fucking did a switcheroo, and she's making it over here, and the other nurse is like.
Oh yeah, that
seems a bit illegal, to be honest.
That's illegal.
Well, they didn't tell the mom. No one knows what they're just injecting this boy with, and they sneak and do it. Seems a bit illegal to me.
I mean, apparently things were way different back in the day. They're like,
or in Wes Craven's head.
Maybe you go home and you come back later. He'll be fine.
Maybe he was committed.
Committed.
Mm-hmm.
Could have been. And then
committed to fitting his dick in your mouth.
I mean, what is it? Like an inch long? Come on.
Oh yeah.
When do they play Frogger?
Coming up right here.
Okay.
Dylan falls asleep from the sedative Freddy brutally kills Julie in Dylan's dream, which seemed like real life to me. It didn't seem like he did. Whatever.
I mean, everyone else fucking saw it.
Yeah, that part is really cool too. I always really liked that
did
part
like
too.
that
And he's
part.
like,
That was-
ever play Skin the Cat?
I would say that's the best kill. Said it's the only kill that we saw.
But capable of sleepwalking, Dylan leaves the hospital of his own accord while Heather chases him home across the interstate as Freddy.
What's his favorite pajamas on?
Yeah. Freddy taunts and dangles him over traffic, which that part I thought was always kind of fun. On returning home, Heather realizes that Saxon has established his persona as Don Thompson, and her street, the exterior of her house, and her clothes have all transformed into Nancy's as reality starts to overlap with Freddy's make-believe realm.
This got cold.
No, he just got hard, so he does that. When Heather embraces Nancy's role, Freddy emerges completely into reality and abducts Dylan into his world. I did kind of like that she kind of did that to make things happen too, and then right when she's like, okay, Dad, then he's like, da-na-na-na, and pops out of the blanket or whatever, you know?
Oh, yeah.
He's like a little, he's like a little penis coming out of his shell through that blanket.
Ooh,
Do you think that, like when he had to like when he was like being possessed or whatever, like, do you think they told him like just lay on the floor and scream like you're having a seizure? Because that's what I got the vibe.
Probably.
Like
One time I was on Walking Dead. Carl had a seizure, and it really made me laugh.
Oh, upsetting.
And Mauser, that scumbag, yelled at me for making fun of Carl having a seizure, the actor.
Wow.
Because he had a seizure once. So Heather finds a trail of Dylan's sleeping pills and follows him to the hellish construct of Freddy's boiler room. Freddy fights off Heather and chases Dylan into the furnace, which, why'd he crawl into I know he's getting away from Freddy.
It worked. He knows Handsome Girl by heart.
It's true. Dylan escapes the furnace, doubles back to Heather, and together they push Freddy into the furnace. They also stab his tongue. I like that. He gets a little snake tongue. And
that probably hurt.
Light it up. I like that too. He's like licking all around it, and then he gets scared because Dylan has his tongue. I love that part. So this destroys both the monster and his reality. Dither and Heather emerge from under the blanket, and Heather finds a copy of the film's events in a screenplay at the foot of the bed. Inside is written, "Thanks from Wes for defeating Freddy and playing Nancy one last time. Her victory helps to imprison the entity of the film's franchise." Dylan asks if it's a story, and Heather agrees and opens it, and she starts reading him. She goes through the whole thing, and then do you think she got to the end when he's like, "Is it a story, Mom?" And she goes, and the mom says, "Yes, this is a story."
It's just a loop?
And then she's just stuck in that room reading a script to Dylan.
As long as
forever.
I'm not there, it's cool.
And the whole time the music going, ba-dum, 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 ba-dum. The credit music that was playing.
Was that what was going on?
Yeah. I could play for you if you'd like.
No, we believe you.
What was it, like the Cherry Poppin' Daddies? You sound like some swing music.
See? Ba-dum, 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 ba-dum.
Yeah, that's pretty scary, actually. That's the scariest part of the whole fucking movie.
Where are we at here? Best kill, worst kill, I think is Julie. Maybe we're going to see Julie and the dad die, but I think
absolutely.
I think it's Julie.
I don't think there was a
hands
worst
down.
kill.
The two dudes off camera that we saw die in the dream, but then we didn't see how they really died,
No, we did see how they really died.
I guess.
But yeah.
But that's the worst. Why even kill him if you're going to kill him off screen?
Yeah, I agree.
It just seems pointless.
So, our biggest trope, my biggest trope is no one believing Heather and having her poorly explain the whole situation so that way she sounds crazy. They do that so much, and where she's just like, no, you don't understand. Freddy, like, if I was really in the situation and Freddy was real and all this stuff, I would just kind of play along until I can get my son out of here, and then be like, hey, we gotta fucking take down Freddy. But I'm not gonna tell the nurses that Freddy's gonna fucking eat my son and go with him in his mouth.
No, that's by far the biggest trope.
Yeah.
It's probably why.
Come on,
it's
Nancy.
the third time we've seen it now, and she didn't have a kid before.
Yeah.
So that's probably...
Dumb bitch.
So, unless you guys have something different, we're at titty count.
I didn't write one down, but I agree with you 100% because I was thinking the whole time. I just forget about the trope thing.
Yeah, whenever it gets to a part like that in a movie, it instantly turns me off of them being like, no, I swear, I'm not crazy. Freddy's going to eat me. And they're like, no, Heather Langenkamp, you go home.
Well, I mean, what do they think? That she cut herself?
Probably. She put on her own claws, and she's like, now I'm going to go get my son back, actually.
Yeah, now I'm going to go tell his doctor, who already thinks I'm crazy.
I'm going to go tell Hugh Hefner to fuck off. How about that?
Yeah.
They'd probably put you in psychiatric padded room nowadays.
Yeah.
So titty count, non-white pill count, we got 0 titties and 4 non-white pills, you said?
Yeah.
I'll grab the board. You speak to the people.
Speak to the people,
How many?
Nicholas.
This is the 7th one? 6th one. 7th one?
7th.
And there's been 3 titties.
You know what? I bet he was a Catholic priest in his former life.
That's just Freddy was a Catholic priest in his former life. But non-white people are up to 28, as opposed to Friday the 13th that has 27. We're about to be done.
Jamie Lee Curtis Award, we already said it goes to that one person. I don't remember.
Wes Craven.
Wes motherfucking Craven.
We did name 2 movies he's been in since.
Yeah, it's true.
None of these other fuckers are in any others.
So would you guys like to know what we're watching next, Daddy-O?
Is it Jason Gax?
Nope.
Oh, good. What is
Because
it?
that'd be good. What we're going to watch is...
Halloween 6, The Origin of Michael Myers.
And here's the funny thing about that.
Wouldn't the origin
So
be...
it said Halloween 6, The Origin of Michael Myers.
Mm-hmm.
The movie's called Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
That makes more sense because the origin, he's a boy in the first one.
Yeah, and guess what? This might get your pee-pee all wet.
Power.
I'm pretty sure Loomis gets killed in this one.
And the sexiest man alive is in this movie.
Fucking Paul Rudd, sexiest man alive. Biggest dick in Atlanta is in this one as well.
Biggest dick in Atlanta. Hey, Drum, keep talking. Be right back, okay?
Okay.
Keep talking.
Keep talking. Pull your penis out and keep talking
That's
to me.
singing. That's not talking. Oh my god.
Dun 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 dun. He looks so fucking creepy in that. It's funny too. So we actually have different Michael Myers masks because mine's from Halloween 2. That's from 3 or 4. It looks like.
You almost look like you should be like.
It's from 4.
Ah.
So now we gotta get another one, and all 3 of us could do the podcast as Michael Myers.
We should do that for like the last one.
Oh, okay. Whatever. Let me see. When's the last Halloween?
Are they on clearance now? Is that why you bought one?
We got plenty of time for last Halloween. We'll know. It'll be Halloween Ends.
Can you hear me?
I can, but it sounds like you're in the biggest room of your life.
Biggest dick in Atlanta.
It's so echoey, but it's good.
I feel like I could be a Jabberwocky.
Oh, I get a Jabberwocky. Yeah, you should get up and do some dance moves.
Wow.
Frightened retard?
I love that. Oh, fuck, he's got some hair. Look at that. What would you do if, as we're watching him, just blood started pouring out of the eyes? Isn't it weird? I don't know why. It kind of looks like Hestel. I don't know what about it, but it reminds, like, seeing this, it's like, oh, that's Hess.
It's weird when you don't talk.
Well, he's Michael Myers. He's in character.
You're just like sitting
He's
there.
in character.
I get it.
Michael Myers is actually the worst podcast guest.
Shouldn't he be looking out a window? Oh.
Oh my god, imagine if he had his window up and we just look back and he's just standing outside his window staring into the house. Oh, that's good. I love that. But all right, ladies and gentlemen, dudes.
I'm gonna do the podcast like this next week, okay?
Okay.
So I'm not gonna talk.
This is all just he bought the mask, all this, so he doesn't have to watch the next movie.
Yeah, he's like, fuck that.
He's like, I'll wear it and I just won't talk on the podcast. Holy shit, that was Hess the whole time?
I'll be damned.
That's fucking crazy. But does anybody have any last things they want to say about Wes Craven's A New Nightmare before we get the fuck out of here?
So that's it? Yeah. Freddy, right?
No, we got Freddy versus Jason, and then we have the reboot, and then we're done.
Oh, okay, so dose more Freddys.
Yeah, but this is it. This is it for this era of Freddy.
Okay.
But all right, so thanks for watching, everybody. Please like, subscribe, comment down below if you would like us all to wear Michael Myers masks on the podcast and just do an hour of not talking.
Thank God no one's watching anymore.
And we'll see you guys next time.
Oh, yeah.